Helene, obviously, folks in Western North Carolina continue to recover from the impacts of Helene. Chimney Rock, that town suffered significant damage, heavily impacted. They're looking to reopen the town soon. I know they did something during the holidays, but again, that town saw, just like many places in Western North Carolina, saw a lot of devastation. Our Jessie Pierre went to the mountains. She spoke with the mayor of Chimney Rock about the recovery efforts from start to where they are now. Let's listen in to that interview she had with the mayor of Chimney Rock.
Perfect. How long have you been the mayor here?
I've been mayor on kind of 2 go-rounds, but a total of about 25 years.
And how long have you been in Chimney Rock?
We have lived here since 1990, so 35 years now.
What does Chimney Rock Village mean to you, Chimney Rock in general?
Well, it's my home. It's the home of my kids and my grandkids. It's the place where I started my married life. It's the place where I started my business 33 years ago. So there are a lot of milestones here for me. I moved here to work at Chimney Rock Park when it was privately owned at the time, and moved here for the job, and it was a great job. But then after a couple of years when I left the park, I realized that not only was the job and the park great, but the whole village was great. And I just didn't want to leave. And you hear that over and over from people that live here and people that visit here. It's got a magical draw to it that once you get here, you just want to come back or you want to stay.
You know, when the storm hit, did you think it was going to be this bad? Like, what were you thinking before it hit?
Well, I was actually on vacation. I was at Tybee Island, Georgia when the storm hit, and none of us thought it was going to be this bad. I mean, none of us could have imagined. And a lot of people, in fact, earlier in the week, we thought, you know, we might get some flooding, we might get some high water, but we've been through floods before. We had a 100-year flood in 1996, what we thought was a 100-year flood, not realizing that on that September morning that we were going to be hit with a 1,000-year flood. Just something that honestly none of us could have imagined.
You know, talk to me about the devastation here and looking at it and watching it and seeing it when you first.
Well, it's when I saw pictures. I was out of town and I started, of course, communicating with the fire department and the other officials here in town. And I saw the pictures, I saw the videos, but then coming into town and seeing it firsthand, it was so dramatic and so unbelievable that it was hard to imagine that it had actually happened. Even though I'm seeing it firsthand, I'm thinking still that this cannot be real. You know, surely there's something that I'm missing that's going to make this not be as bad as it is. But of course, when you dig into it, you realize, you know, we've been dealt a tremendous blow, a devastating blow.
And kind of break down, like, I don't know if you have, what are the estimates of, like, houses and, you know, talk to me about some of the damage that.
Well, the damage was, it was truly catastrophic for Chimney Rock Village, and I compare it sometimes. It's an odd situation though, because you can literally go 2 or 3 miles away and everybody's totally recovered from the storm, and you can't even tell a storm happened. But then you come down here and you see this devastation that we're still trying to rebuild from and overcome. But we had 4 vehicle bridges and 1 pedestrian bridge in town that were all washed away. We had 30% of our business community literally wash away. We had our biggest employer, biggest draw, Chimney Rock Park, be completely closed. We have the whole town completely closed, and we have been since the storm for 6 months now. So we've had 100% unemployment. Over 30 homes washed away, just numerous vehicles, campers from the campgrounds, camping cabins. It's just, you know, when you start going through the numbers, it's mind-boggling. And part of the problem too is, like I said, we've been shut down and out of business since the storm, and we are still out of business. And that's something we hope to rectify very soon. But you know, we've got to get going again so we can start returning to normal.
you know, when we're talking about like the work that's being done, like, you know, I see everywhere volunteers working and coming and so forth. Talk to me about how that has helped where and to, you know, even put you where you are today, and kind of talk to me about the progress.
Well, the progress, it's an interesting story because it's a tale of two projects, if you will, in the sense that when we look around, we still see just tremendous damage and realize it's going to take a long time to build it back. But at the same time, we've made tremendous progress, and that is very encouraging. It's very heartwarming. It keeps us all going to see the number of volunteers and the number of people that have reached out to help us. We've had, since the storm, well over 2,000 volunteers come through the Spokes of Hope organization that is organizing the volunteers. We've had just tons of supplies donated. You know, all of the building material that's going into rebuilding these stores has been donated up to this point, and it's just been a tremendous recovery story that is ongoing. And I have to just shout out to Spokes of Hope. They have done such a tremendous job, and we are so blessed because if they hadn't shown up and started to rebuild us and continued to rebuild us, we would be in a totally different boat now. Chimney Rock's future would be very uncertain. And as it is, with their help and the help of so many other volunteers, our future, while it's still a work in progress, it's much, much brighter than it could have been.
Now, your business is down this street as well, right?
Yes, yeah.
So now, is it even open? Can you even get in there?
No businesses are open at this point because.
I meant open the door. Like, is it? Like,
oh yeah, no, we can get in.
Okay.
All of the businesses are being rebuilt.
Now, talk to me about the damage in your business specifically.
Right, and I will say this: pretty much 100% of the businesses in town were damaged to some degree. And our business, Bubba O'Leary's General Store, the business I've run for 33 years, part of it, one of the buildings was completely destroyed and we had to tear it down, and the other building was heavily damaged, but it is being repaired. And we hope to have that open early summer. That's our goal, is to have the village to the point where we can allow businesses to reopen sometime in the early summer.
And I know you mentioned it already, but what would that mean for Chimney Rock Village to start seeing some foot traffic and?
You know, to get the village open again and to get Chimney Rock Park open again is a small step, but at the same time, it's such a vital step for the recovery of this village. Everybody here is a small business. None of us have corporate backing or corporate money. We're just struggling to survive year after year. And to be open, to allow people to come through our doors and to sell them merchandise or serve them a meal, you know, that's going to mean the world to these businesses, and that's going to be that first major step really on our road to recovery. That's a pretty strong wind all of a sudden.
Yes. I just hope that this has been high enough. Oh, I made it worse.
Uh-oh.
There we go. You know, when it comes to, so when we're talking about the work that's been done, you know, you said some of the businesses they've been re-gutted and rebuilding work is being done there. Kind of talk to me about some other stuff that's being done.
Well, the business community is being rebuilt by the volunteers, and then the main infrastructure as far as water and sewer and roads, we are using a contractor and state money to rebuild the sewer system and the water system, and then the highway system and the bridges are being rebuilt by North Carolina DOT. And all of those groups, every group involved in this recovery, has been doing just an amazing job. I mean, I can't say enough about DOT's efforts and our contractor on the water and sewer. They are amazing how they came in and just hit the ground running, and they have been working so efficiently, so quickly to get us back up, and it is amazing to see. But I also have to say, as soon as I say that they've done such remarkable work, it's just such a huge project. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's going to take years and years for all of this to be finished.
And that's what I was going to ask. Okay, so even though you'll be your goal is to open to some level, and I don't know what percentage of it in the summer, but really when we're talking about Chimney Rock Village being completely back, years and years?
Well, yes, it's going to take years and years for us to get back, but I want to encourage people to continue to support us and continue to visit. I mean, we don't need thousands of people every day, but we do need people to remember us and to come back. And I actually think it's going to be extremely interesting to see how we rebuild and to see the milestones along the way and to see different parts of the village come back. And I would encourage people just to keep checking in with us and just keep visiting, and you're going to be amazed at what you see. We've got a task force that's coming up with some truly incredible plans for this village. The old Chimney Rock is gone, but the new Chimney Rock that we're going to rebuild, it's going to be an amazing place, and it's going to have some features that are going to make it even more special than it was before. And we firmly believe that, and we're working as hard as we can to make that happen. So I just encourage people to, put us on your regular visitation list and say, you know what, let's go check and see what's going on in Chimney Rock, because you're going to really enjoy the journey, and we hope to make that journey with a lot of people.
2 questions. When it comes to the biggest challenges, what would you say as far as rebuilding and just kind of these efforts?
The biggest challenge facing us, I think, in my opinion, is just the biggest challenge is going to be keeping the momentum going, because this is a multi-year process. It's a huge job that's going to take a lot of input, a lot of resources, a lot of effort by a lot of people, and it's going to be a challenge for all of us to keep that momentum going and to keep our enthusiasm up and to keep our energy levels up. And it's going to take a lot of effort on other people's parts to remain committed and to remain interested in the rebuilding of Chimney Rock. And I think that's going to be the hardest thing, is making sure that all of us work together towards making this long-term project come through.
Now, I saw an article that we shared about how the extension or FEMA extension was declined or something like that. How does that impact you guys, and any concerns there about,
Well, I can't speak necessarily to specific issues, but just because I'm not as well versed in them. I do know that there was a matching part of the FEMA funding that I believe it was 100% match at one point, and it's gone to either a 90-10 or 80-20 match. And that's very difficult, particularly for small communities like ourselves that don't have the resources to come up with 10 or 20% of the cost of a multi-million-dollar project. And we don't have the resources, and we've lost so much tax base that we can't raise that money now. So it's very important for us to get 100% funding on a lot of these projects just to make them work and to get us back to where we can potentially match in the future.
I see. So the okay. Perfect. Anything else you'd like to add, or you think that I'm missing?
No, I just want to say thank you to so many people that have helped us, and thank you to everybody out there that's looking at this and thinking of Chimney Rock, because we need all of it. We need your support, but we need your prayers and thoughts. And when you get a chance, come and visit us and share your enthusiasm for the new Chimney Rock with us.
And that was Jess Pierre's full one-on-one with the mayor of Chimney Rock. Again, that area, just like a lot of areas in Western North Carolina, devastated by Hurricane Helene. They're working to recover, bounce back. I'm sure they will. A beautiful area. If you go up there and visit, again, is set to reopen soon. All right.